An Aurora business robbed not once, but a second time while waiting for police.
The criminals were walking just without no fear.
Tonight, Aurora's mayor responding to the owner's outrage and rising crime in the city.
We've got to take back the city, street by street, block by block.
Plus, a local musician out thousands of dollars after his car is stolen with his equipment inside.
Put a standstill on how I can make my money.
Now he fears it's the end of the road for his touring plans.
Without a vehicle and any gear, who knows what will happen.
And Denver begins the path forward for downtown biking.
This is transformative. This is a trunk line that will forever change how people get around our city.
Good evening, and thank you for watching Denver 7 News on Local 3. I'm Jessica Porter. Community outrage tonight after thieves break into an Aurora liquor store twice in one night. The terrifying moments were caught on surveillance video Sunday morning as the first group of thieves used a stolen Hummer to ram the front door of the family-run store. The Ethiopian community says this dramatic surveillance video should be a wake-up call. The mayor of Aurora agrees, but they blame different people. Contact Denver 7's Jacqueline Allen is going in depth on a crime that has shaken the community.
This may look like just another liquor store break-in. A stolen Hummer turned battering ram.
And that was in the first?
But for the mayor of Aurora touring the damage now, this crime is a symptom of a larger social problem.
We've got to be tougher on crime. We've got to be tougher on criminals.
The story, getting national attention, started when the guys in this Hummer rammed their way into G&E liquor store near Tower on Iliff early Sunday morning and stole everything they could.
I thought it was a dreaming or it's a movie.
Owner Giram Alamayu says Aurora police responded briefly, but 3 hours later, he and his wife were still waiting outside for detectives when a second set of thieves showed up. They threatened the terrified couple with what looked like a gun.
You don't see any kind of fears that the law is going to quote onto them.
This is interesting. The owners tell me when this store was burglarized a few years ago, Aurora police response was completely different, and that, they say, is a major concern.
That time we have officers stayed here. The detective came soon. They told us what to do. At this incident, they didn't tell us what to do.
While Mayor Mike Kaufman blames Governor Polis and state lawmakers for an increase in crime, he acknowledges issues at the beleaguered Aurora Police Department. Did a shortage of police officers contribute to this?
Don't know yet. But the fact is, I mean, it is a problem. Yeah, we have areas that are out of control here. We've got to take back the city, and we are in the search for another police chief.
This is like declaring terrorism on a community.
Advocates in the Ethiopian community say they need help now, calling Giram and his wife pillars of the community now shaken by violence.
People are terrified, especially a lot of our small business owners. You know, am I next?
With the Ethiopian community behind him, Giram plans to reopen as soon as he can replace the framing here. He's just hoping the thieves can be caught before then.
We're glad we are survived and nobody hurt.
In Aurora, Jacqueline Allen, Denver 7.
Taking a closer look, Mayor Kaufman says Aurora is trying to address the rise in crime by recently relaunching the Direct Action Response Team, or DART, which targets habitual offenders and thieves. The city also recently increased mandatory minimum jail time on motor vehicle theft charges.
I'm no criminal justice expert, but I know this. I know that when these habitual criminals are behind bars, they're not stealing another vehicle, at least for that time that they're behind bars.
And you also heard Jacqueline asking Mayor Kaufman about staffing shortages that can delay police response. Let's take a look at the data from Aurora 911. As of last week, there were 20 openings for 911 dispatchers. Going further, this is a problem across the metro. Jeffco's 911 deputy director says dispatch centers had a tough time hiring before COVID, and the pandemic has made it even harder to retain employees. Now, an up-and-coming Denver musician's career may be coming to a halt after thieves stole his car. To make matters worse, inside were several pieces of equipment necessary for him to perform, and they aren't cheap to replace. Denver 7's Patrick Perez has more.
Derek Dames-Ole says he parked his car right here at the corner of 29th and Java in Denver last Wednesday night. It is a white 2017 Kia Soul, and here's a photo of what it looks like. Derek says it has a cracked windshield, a front left rim that's unlike the other three, and some stickers on the back. The last time he saw it was early Thursday morning when he and his buddy were playing guitar on the front porch. When he woke up, the car was gone. A neighbor's camera video shows it was stolen. Inside was the gear he uses at most of his gigs, which is about $5,000 worth. Unfortunately, Derek says he did not have any insurance on his gear, and his car insurance doesn't cover the cost to replace it. This means his career as a musician is at a standstill right now until he's able to get his car and his gear back.
It's a huge hit. It's thousands of dollars out without even a vehicle. That's even a whole nother load of, that's something that I worked my butt off for years. And so altogether the number makes me shake.
Right now, Derek says the musician community has really come through. They're letting him borrow some gear, giving him some rides to some of his upcoming gigs, but he's really concerned about the tour in Texas that he had scheduled out for November. He's not sure he's going to be able to make those dates, but he's really hopeful something happens between now and then. We will keep you posted. For now, we're in Denver. I'm Patrick Perez, Denver 7.
Patrick, thank you. And as you can imagine, Derek losing his livelihood is making this a difficult situation for him to bounce back from. So Denver 7 Gives is stepping in. You can help replace his stolen equipment by donating over on our website, denver7.com/gives. Just click on the drop-down menu and select Musicians, Car and Equipment Stolen. We're learning more tonight about a deadly plane crash in Boulder County last month. NTSB says one of the two planes that collided in Boulder County last month did a 360 turn right before the collision. The planes collided just after takeoff. The NTSB says one plane had a flight instructor and a student on board. The other was a personal flight. All three of them were killed. DIA's website is the latest to be targeted by a cyber attack. It's one of several airport websites being targeted by suspected Russian hackers. The airport tells us the hackers are trying to overwhelm its website so it becomes unavailable to the public. Right now, the attacks haven't impacted the airport's website. The group claiming responsibility is the same one accused of knocking out state government websites last week, including Colorado.gov. That site is back up and running as normal. Well, construction started today on road improvements along South Broadway in Denver from 7th to Center. Phase 1 starts with updated traffic lights and enhancing sidewalks on the west side of Broadway. Phase 2 will do the same work on the east side and add a two-way protected bike lane. And Phase 3 will add landscaping and stripping along the street.
Further our Vision Zero goal to eliminate fatal and serious injury crashes along the corridor and provide more and better options for people to access and enjoy Broadway without a car.
Some lanes and sidewalks will be closed during each phase. Access to businesses will remain open. Construction is expected to wrap up in a year. 'Tis the season for stolen packages.
I don't think this is her first time or her last time doing this.
Why more porch pirates are hitting Colorado this year.
It's not right that she just gets away with doing this.
Warmer than average and dry today across the plains, staying pretty quiet and mild for the rest of the week. I'll have your full forecast ahead.
Plus, an entanglement of the quantum kind. How one Boulder business is building the future of computers.
They're going to allow us to understand what's going on at this very, very tiny scale, unlike anything that's ever been done with a classical computer.